Sup, bitches? This is Dom, and you're listening to the Games Only podcast.
When you want to hear about games and only games, look no further. This is the Games Only podcast, your number one source for video game news, reviews, and opinions. With Ep3.
In death as in life, I shall honor my brothers.
Dr. Gumaer.
The boss is here at last, boys.
And myself,
Fresh victim.
Games Only podcast on iTunes and YouTube.
Hello and welcome to the Games Only podcast, episode 44. I am your host this evening, Ep3, and I wield the power of heart. To my east, a man from the dark continent wielding the power of Earth. It's Dr. Gumaer.
What are you trying to say?
That you yield Earth. And to my south and west, a man who yields the power of fire. The cuddling controversy. It's Sunflower 4000.
Yeah, that's me.
Those hot
That's
hugs.
definitely me. There have been descriptions of me that are just like that.
Toasty warm hugs.
And here is another one.
In the post office as America's Most Wanted.
And by our powers combined, we are the Games Only podcast. Well, we're missing two.
Fuck water, fuck wind. That has nothing to do with the Games
I will
Only
have
podcast.
sex with both water and wind.
Triangle of fun.
Let's talk about some games, shall we? All
I
right.
didn't know we were doing sound effects for this podcast today.
That's why
That's the
Scatman
going
John.
upstairs noise.
I would like to start, Doc, with talking about the Penny Arcade third episode on the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness. I skipped the first two, but was interested in the third. It's by a different developer. They're kind of taking a different spin at it. So did you play the first two Penny Arcade episodes?
I did. I played the first two, and I really, really enjoyed the first two. The writing is, of course, done by the guys from Penny Arcade, so it's very well written. And if you like the comedy of those comic strips, you're obviously going to like the comedy of the game. I like the style, the art style, and everything like that. And now this third episode is by a new developer. It's by the same people. I forget their name, of course. I can do a fact check real quick, but it's by the same people that made Call of Cthulhu and Breath of Death 7.
Is that how you say Cthulhu?
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
What?
That's like,
Motherfucker,
that's awesome.
it's not like anybody in when I was growing up used that word before, so I had to make up my own pronunciation
It's
of
Cthulhu.
Hey, look, don't feel bad. When I was a kid, I saw the game Nobunaga's Ambition, and I called it Nobungas. So,
The developer is Zeboyd Games.
Okay.
Zeboyd.
And I will make sure to mispronounce that as well. Zaboinga Games making Call of Cthulhu.
So this game has more of a JRPG-ish feel to it. It's like an old school, like
It has more of a 1992 JRPG feel.
yeah, like an
Final
8-bitty
Fantasy
kind of
IV
yes.
type of thing. Which, it's funny because if you watch the trailer for this, it actually says, the best graphics since 1992 or something like that. So it's a big change of pace because the original two games was very cartoony and actually kind of looked like the comic strip. It was well drawn out. And this is obviously 8-bit, 16-bit animation. So you obviously get the idea of what the characters kind of look like, but it doesn't have that same feel like it actually belongs from the comic strips. Which I'm assuming they did that because it's probably a hell of a lot cheaper to go with those guys than develop that three-dimensional world before with all that nice hand-drawn style art.
I don't want to
assuming pixel art's cheaper.
I don't want to start any rumors, but I heard the company that did the first two wanted to move on to different projects.
That could be. I know that they didn't sell as well as they hoped they would.
Hothead Games.
Hothead. There we go. Yeah, Hothead.
Yeah.
So they had to go to a new developer, and I find it quaint that they went to these guys, especially because now it's all text based, and which is convenient because they have the third episode. They already had it written down. The story's already been written. It's been on, actually, I think, their website for a couple of years now. So they pretty much just had to have them just draw up all the art and make it work. So it's your standard old school JRPG fare, which is alright. It's not great. It's nothing special. Like the first game, I felt like it was something a little bit special because it looked like the comics. It felt fun. It still had that, like, turn-based combat style. I think maybe it was a little bit more action-based RPG combat in the first one. This is turn-based with like an action bar and stuff like that, so it takes a little bit of time and to trudge through. But I guess the turn away is now you can have more different types of characters, different types of creatures, stuff like that, because you have time to be that artistic. So I played about an hour and a half of it. It's still funny. I'm still enjoying it. It's still a good time, and I want to see where the story goes. Because the story's crazy. There's these 4 gods that are trying to take over the world, and Gabe and Tycho are just, a detective agency that kind of get thrown in the mix, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they still somehow manage to save the world.
Nice. So, did you get this on Steam, or did you get this... I believe it's on an Xbox Live indie game.
Yeah, I got it through Steam. It was $5 through Steam, and they gave me a copy of Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Cthulhu.
Oh,
the first.
Yes.
Cthulhu.
Yes.
Cthulhu.
Nope.
The mystical creature with like a squid face. Call of
right.
that guy. And a free copy of Breath of Death 7, which I already own Breath of Death 7 for the Xbox Live Arcade. So if anybody wants it, I could just gift it out to you. I know. I could give it to HP, but he doesn't play PC games, so I
don't
can't
play games at all.
What's the game?
So you're about an hour in. Do you enjoy it? Are you? Is it on the same?
If I was really enjoying it like the other games, I would be more than an hour in.
Okay.
Because I bought this on Monday or Tuesday, I think, and I'm kind of like, it's there, but I got other things to do, and I'm going to go take a nap now. It's all right. I want to play through it for the story, but it doesn't have that. Well, the combat isn't as fun as it was before.
Okay. Interesting. How long were the first 2 episodes? Do you remember?
Oh man, I want to say probably 8 hours.
Okay. So do you assume that this is also 8 hours?
I don't know. It could be longer simply because it's this style of combat, this style of art and animation, so they could possibly stretch the game out a bit further.
And they could put more
into
it.
Like before, for the first 2 games, like every combat situation, at least many of them were scripted. Well, not like scripted fighting, but they had like little funny things in the beginning, like I fought a barbershop quartet. So they're singing in the beginning, and then they're singing when each one dies, so there's a lot of entertainment in one battle. This just feels like it's just going to be the battles and maybe a little bit of text, so you can kind of just cruise right through, but maybe they could stretch it out. I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Well, that's too bad. I saw a little bit about this game a week or 2 ago, and was very curious. So yeah, I guess we'll check back with you next week when you've maybe put a little more time into it. And I guess if you don't put more time into it, that's telling in and of itself.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So anything else you want to mention about this game, or I'm going to move on?
I mean, it was $5, so if you like Penny Arcade guys, you can't really go wrong with it.
Okay.
I think it might be even like $3 on Xbox Live Arcade.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So we'll check back in. Sonny, speaking of episodic content, Walking Dead Episode 2 came out this week. Sonny, you've played it on the PC, or did you play the 360 version?
Yeah, I played it on 360.
Okay. And you liked the first one very much, even though you didn't like the source material.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just playing a joke on you guys.
Yeah,
I got it on the 360, and I did enjoy the first episode. It was $5 per episode. There is no season pass on Xbox Live, but on Steam there is, where it's, I believe, $25, and you'll get it all. But 361, there was lots of content in it. That's the thing. It mostly decision-driven adventure gaming, much more than solve this puzzle, which, boy, that helps me.
Right.
One of the nice things about it is that at the end of each episode, you get some statistics on what people did compared to you in important decisions, which I'm a big sucker for that sort of thing. I do like that. But this second episode actually is better than the first, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
But I think part of that is due to me already being familiar with the characters that I'm dealing with, and there's new things going on. There's a little bit of fatigue I've got with the story itself, just because I've been reading the Walking Dead comics as well, and I'm completely current with those now. But I'm kind of getting tired of the whole, oh look, here's a place. We could probably live here. Things could get back to normal. Yeah, because they do it a million times in the comics in a bunch of different places. And naturally they do that in this episode as well, into another place. But besides, setting that fatigue apart, you have a very fun little story that has you making good decisions, and I can really recommend any of these to. Don't dive into episode 2. That would be foolishness. That's just dumb. Go to the first and try the demo. I think I talked about this when the first one came out. The demo is very good representation of how the rest of the game goes. But if you like your choices having consequences, this is a good game for you. You can choose, different things, and different people will, remember what you said and maybe bring it up later, maybe even to throw it in your face, It's like, well, you stood with Kenny? You and Kenny are just best friends, huh? Fuck you, I'm killing you. So, things like that.
So how does this, do you select a save game when you start this episode up, or how does this work?
Yeah. When you finish the first episode, now that the second episode is there, you basically load that game, and whenever you load a game, it asks you what chapter you want to go on with that one, and you choose the next one, and you're off. So it's very, very simple, but you can't go back and replay chapters, which is fine. You can play them again, but you need to have context, so you have to basically replay the whole game if you want to see things differently, and they will be very different. So, I don't know, it's a cool game, and I like making decisions and seeing how they play out, and being myself, so to speak, in a zombie game that isn't about action.
All right. So this is $5?
$5? Yes.
Okay.
And again, try the demo of the first one if you like it, which most people would. Even me, I hate Telltale games. I'm not a big fan of their games. I don't enjoy their interface. They've managed to strike gold by having a very good story, one that I'm interested in the next step, and just the right amount of control over how it goes.
Okay. And the season pass will get you how many episodes is this going to be?
I believe it's 5 episodes.
Okay.
It's possible there may be 6. Because I know the season pass basically gives you 1 for free.
Okay, well then, it would be 6.
So could be 5 or 6 depending on my memory. It could be $20 or $25 depending on my memory. So it could go either way.
So all we learned is we don't depend on your memory.
It's in the ballpark of $20 to $25 and 5 to 6 episodes. But yeah, I really do like it, and I encourage people, even if you're tired of zombies, even though some of the cliches are still present, it's a cool world that they've built, and it's worth checking out just to see the characters and how they evolve and what you do.
Do you have any idea about the release schedule for these episodes? Is it
every month one's coming out, yes. And so far it's been 2 months, and there have been 2 of them, so far so good.
Okay.
And you're looking at like 3 or 4 hours each episode, as far as I know. Episode 4 could come out, and who knows. But they're definitely plenty of content for what it is, and you can also enjoy the game even more so if you have a friend play through it afterwards, and you can watch them, because it's fun to watch people make choices they don't want to make.
Hey.
That's why I keep this gun next to my bed.
All right, so it's $25 for the season pass, and it's 5 episodes.
Okay.
On Steam.
Wait, then you ain't saving nothing.
That's what it is on Steam.
Interesting.
Who would buy this?
And I don't see an option to actually individually buy these episodes on Steam.
That might be part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my memory, because I think I wanted to play this on the PC, but I didn't want to...
Well, it works very well with
entire-
controllers. You won't have any problems with that. They've adapted the control scheme very well. But you know what? Their previous game, Back to the Future, I couldn't get into it, and I don't know why. So, I don't know.
I
About
liked
this.
the first episode just because of the source material, but the playing was kind of tiresome.
Well, I bought that whole season, and I never downloaded past the first season, or first episode, rather, so... Maybe someday.
Maybe someday, indeed.
Someday, somewhere.
All right, so I'm going to move on to me and talk about finishing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. That's right, Maddie.
I think she's
finished.
upset that you finished that game.
I don't want
I
to.
think she's upset that other people exist in an apartment complex.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm also upset about that thing. Let her know.
You want me to go tell her to be quiet?
No, she's fine. So this week I finished Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
How? I couldn't even do that.
We talked a little bit about it last week. So I ended up playing the single player as, I think his name is Victor?
Vector.
Vector.
What's your Victor? Vector?
Vector. And Vector is the character that has the active camouflage.
What's our clearance, Clarence? Roger, Captain.
Roger.
Captain, over.
Right. So I realized pretty early on that if you yourself, the single player, move ahead, your AI partners will just join you. So there were multiple times in the game where I actively cloaked. I just ran ahead to wherever I was supposed to go, and then my AI companions just popped up. So I feel like, in a way, I cheated to beat the game, but it was kind of necessary. There were a few...
It's okay, because they tried to cheat you out of money.
How did they try to cheat me out of money?
By saying that this was an excellent game and that I should buy it on release.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's just good PR. That's good
That's
business
how
sense.
they cheated you.
They used an exploit in my real life.
They're not going to say, hey, man, this game is crap. Could you please buy it anyway?
Well, my question is, HP, this game was unbearably difficult for me, but I had different characters because of the AI. It was so bad. So I think you did kind of cheat, but like you said, it kind of felt necessary.
Yeah, there were a few times, and one time in particular where Leon S. Kennedy of Stars is kind of sniping you from above, and the objective was not necessarily clear. It's like, hey, you have to break through this gate, so I did that, and then it's like, hey, you have to go over here, and I did that, and then nothing happened, because I was not looking. I had to turn the camera all the way around and see that there was a ladder behind me that they wanted me to go up. So that's one of those frustrating things. I'm not lost a lot of times in games. I feel like I have a pretty good sense of where to go. So when a game trips me up like that, it's worth noting. And a lot of the camera issues, we're going to get to a different game later that has camera issues, but a lot of the camera issues were really frustrating in this game, where all of a sudden you'd be zoomed in really close to your character. And this is a third-person shooter, so you're obviously looking over your shoulder, but man, the camera's sometimes rough, objectives sometimes not apparent. The thing that I like about this game is I know that I have friends who I want to play cooperatively with who own the game.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I will probably buy it when it gets cheap. I still have my rental from GameFly. I'm hoping maybe we could get one or two more sessions in before I send it back.
Absolutely.
But man, I don't know. For a while I enjoyed unlocking the different weapons, and then I was like, well, it kind of doesn't matter what weapons I unlock, because they will eventually...
terrible game mechanic. It longer matters what weapons I unlock.
They'll eventually run out, and you'll have to pick up something better or different.
that's where I'm going with this. So yeah, they'll eventually have grenade launchers or flamethrowers that you kind of have to pick up to beat the bosses of the levels. And there's one part with what are those BOWs that look like the Fallout 3 enemies? The oh god.
Oh, you're thinking of the Death Claws. Those are hunters.
Yes. Okay. So there's one. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking. So there's a part in the game with all the hunters kind of attacking at once, and I cloaked, I ran forward, I went up some stairs because I was supposed to be ascending through this facility. So I would just cloak, run to the stairs, go up the stairs, cloak, run, and I'm sure that if you tried to do that the real way, that was probably impossible.
The main problems I had with the game is that it just wasn't really fun to fight bosses or stronger enemies. There was no joy involved. They just felt like these incredible bullet sponges, and you didn't really know if you were hitting them all that well or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have benefited from some kind of health bar or some indicator of the opponent's health. Now
there is a character who has an ability that does that. So.
Oh, okay.
I guess they withheld that from everyone else.
For everyone in the group, or just that character?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Probably just the character.
Yeah, there is some replayability here insofar as each of the characters' abilities make them very different in the approach to the game. So it might be kind of fun to go through the game again as a different character, but
yeah, my big problem was that it didn't matter what character the AI was; it would never use its special abilities.
That's true.
Let's get the demolitions guy. Has he laid a bomb? Nope.
Never
will. Never will.
Hey, I was rolling with the AI that supposedly created extra health and extra of the antiviral spray, because I was like, yeah, those would be two good people to have on your team. Nope.
Yeah, it's a health mule.
Right, but no.
Never.
So yeah, this game is disappointing, but still in an odd way fun sometimes.
They did have really awesome CG cutscenes, though.
Yes. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of like all the different characters. I like hearing the different voice actors, and
they all have different dialogue. And since there's, I believe, 8 characters, or maybe even a little bit more, they all have their own lines and their own interplay with each other at little story moments.
Yeah. So right, there is some replayability here. It's just I feel really bad for anyone who paid full price, or in Sonny's case, more than full price, because
yeah, it came with some patches and a cool steelbook.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it came with Operation Raccoon City as well.
So that's that. Doc, I would love for you to tell me about Vessel, the PC experience.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my Vessel. I apologize.
I would love for you to tell me about your Vessel. Is it seaworthy?
Quite.
We're playing 20 questions. Does it have a mast? All right. So Vessel is a puzzle game. Is it not?
It's a puzzle game that deals with water physics. I guess that's the best way to explain it. Water physics are because usually most puzzle games have a certain hook.
Mm-hmm.
So this game happens to be water physics. You play a scientist who has somehow created these autonomous worker water creatures called fleurons that do the work for everybody, because humans are lazy pieces of shit. So we need water things to help do our stuff. And then somehow one of your fleurons plays a trick on you and just locks you out of your laboratory. So you have to go through this entire huge, long maze to get back to your laboratory. And, there's puzzles along the way. You come across machines that help you create fleurons. You come across machines that help you, capture a fleuron. That way you can use it at any time. There's hoses you can spray into different things. So it's basic puzzle play just with that little bit of hook. Graphically speaking, I'm really enjoying it. Nice hand-drawn backgrounds, nice character models. The water looks pretty good, cartoony water, but still it splashes around in good physical sense.
Is it safe to say that this kind of looks like Limbo if Limbo was in color?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of safe to say.
Okay, because that's how it looks to me, but that kind of sounds stupid.
Yeah, it does sound kind of weird. Limbo if Limbo had detail.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's got a really cool art style. So I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, that's okay. So yeah, right now it's just I'm going through these little mini puzzles. I'm learning some mechanics, and it's pretty fun right now. It's holding my attention. The only problem is that I don't have. I say this pretty much every week, so maybe I should go out and buy one. But I don't have a gamepad for my PC.
Go out and buy one.
I guess this is supposed to be an Xbox game, because a lot of the visual cues on screen, not like the words that pop up and say hit this button, but there's things into the artwork that kind of hints that okay, you have to hold down this button to climb on it. And I'm using the PC and it doesn't work like that, so I don't catch those visual cues without that gamepad.
So it's like a blue X above something.
Yeah,
and
not like a blue X, but it's just an X, and it's there. It's not as noticeable as a big blue fucking X, but it's into the actual artwork. So this pulley has an X on it, so to hit the button. But so far it's pretty fun. I got to get a gamepad, and is it coming out on 360? I think it's already out.
This is a good question. I don't know.
No idea.
It would make sense if it was a 360 game, and no, it's just for Microsoft Windows.
It's a games for Windows. It says Xbox Live Marketplace, however.
Weird. Oh well. So yeah, it's just a PC game, but weird how they have that type of drawings in there when it's a PC game. I just find that odd. Maybe it was originally meant for the 360, and this was just easier to produce because it's PC. Much easier to do.
Shrugs?
Yeah.
So, do you have any sense, does it have an overworld that gives you a sense of how far along you are in the game?
No real overworld. I don't have a map trying to tell me, where I'm going. I think I'm on the 4th chapter, but that still means nothing to me because I don't know how many chapters there were. And I went through it rather quickly, so I don't know. Hopefully there's a lot of chapters and they're all very small, as opposed to very small chapters and not a lot of content.
Is there some kind of overall goal? This is what you're trying to do, or you're just trying to stop these fleurons?
Fluoros. These furries, yeah.
Are you just trying to stop the furries from doing their thing, or
I guess so. It's pretty much just the beginning of the game is okay, well, you're in this inventor, you create this, and now it locked you out. Lock you out of the office, so you got to go around this whole labyrinth to get back into it. But the way I guess they progress the stories through journals, in which if there's a new gameplay on it, it'll open up a journal page in which it describes what it is. There's one for I can capture a fluoro, keep him in a container, and now everywhere I see a puddle of water, I can release him and have a friend to help me, hit buttons when I need them to be hit. So they're your kind of your partner. I guess there's just one mischievous fluoro that locked me out. But that it explained it quite well. It's he developed the system. It was wonderful, but the only problem is that it needed a constant water source. So we made this system that you could extract the essence of a fluoro, and then anywhere there's a water, not an actual moving water source, you can get one without having to move all the equipment. So they do progress story like that, but not really much of a story to speak of.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I guess we'll check back next week.
Sonny will probably hate it. There's levers and buttons and switches.
Don't worry, not yet.
He's
puzzles. Yeah.
I know my limit.
Not playing this game.
I know my limit.
Yeah, your limit is obviously Lego Harry Potter.
Oh,
that
is
your limit.
Speaking of which, real briefly, if you are listening to this, you should check out Sonny Plays Lego Harry Potter for about 8 minutes of Sunflower not doing anything.
I did lots of things. The game is obtuse, and it's not my fault.
Sure.
It is bigger than a right angle.
I was hearing all sorts of complaints. I was like, they're like, oh no, the chamber pot's actually something else, or oh, you got the red mystery break.
I believe the chamber pot is for mixing potions.
I'm pretty sure you poop in a chamber pot.
How would you know? How would you know?
Because I've seen all the movies and read all the books, and I would think...
Well, see, I thought that's what would give me an advantage, is because I have not.
So you're not taking these items...
Because it gave me nothing but drawbacks in Lego Indiana Jones when the story didn't make any sense whatsoever. Well, and Dr. Jones was doing things he never did in the movies.
You can't exactly kill Nazis in a Lego game. And
no,
Dr.
they fall apart.
Dr. Jones
and they're all blue-eyed.
Nazis, all right?
Did you... In Lego Indiana Jones, all the Nazis could not have swastikas on their outfits, but they all had blue eyes and blonde hair.
That makes sense.
Not even kidding. That was their way of distinguishing them. But you could kill them. They're Lego people. They explode.
Lego people.
Apparently, Harry Potter's a big-ass bully, too, throwing people around. Either way, that show's out there.
I'm sorry? Yes.
You can find it at youtube.com/sunflowernta if you so desire, but I'm warning you. It's got a
good warning.
It's got an ending.
I'm warning you. I'm just wagging my finger at you.
I'm warning you. The video is not infinite. You have been warned.
You will be as disappointed at the ending as I was when I was playing it.
I was really disappointed when what happened.
Okay.
Anywho,
let's talk about a game that you actually like. You have been playing a little bit of the Close Quarters map pack for Battlefield 3.
Yeah, that's right. Furnished by the lovely people at EA, who no doubt really care about us small guys. They have furnished us a review code for me, and which was nice because that meant I didn't have to pay $15. I like to pretend that was karma because I got an extra Pinball Effects 2 Marvel Tables code and I gave it to Doc.
Hells yeah!
Oh. So I was thinking, this is karma. These things are working out, which means my 360 is probably going to red ring. Anyway, Battlefield 3 Close Quarters. The maps are all, as you would imagine, Close Quarters themed.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like those maps for Battlefield 3 because most of the maps are big. Wide open.
That's the thing. Battlefield's normally about epic scale, and having close quarters maps really changes things up and gives it a kind of a breath of fresh air. It's kind of more Call of Duty-like, though, as the name of the game is killing people. Quick, go, 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 go. They got a mode that they also introduced in Modern Warfare 3, where actually that was Black Ops, wasn't it? The gun game?
Yeah, Black Ops.
Yeah.
And even though that its precursor was in Counter-Strike. Whatever.
Right.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, everyone who knows it was from Counter-Strike, but it was popularized in Black Ops. That's all I'm saying.
It was popularized for consoles. I think that's a safe way to say it without Counter-Strike people getting butthurt.
Counter-Strike people don't count because there are 5 of them.
Well,
5 of them left.
They're all in poor countries, and they can't graduate to any tougher, newer game.
My apologies to Counter-Strike players.
Sorry, babies. Why don't you go back to Ukraine?
For all those Eastern Bloc countries in which my co-host has offended.
They're running on computers that can't even play WoW. So
hey, I was originally from the Caucasus Mountain regions, guys.
The Caucasus Mountain. Yeah, that makes sense for you. Yeah.
The Iowa Caucus.
Anyway,
they're all close quarters.
Uh-huh.
They're all close quarters themed. Action's a bit more frenetic. C4 starting to be a problem. Someone has managed to attach C4 to a destroyed lamp and kick it around and basically kick it at enemies and blow it up, which I thought was a pretty neat thing. There's a video out there about it. So there is the small problem of maybe a little spawn camping or objective camping where you do quest and they put all sorts of explosives on it and then pop them when you get near.
Yeah, I can see that because you can do that with the bigger maps. Like on Conquest, people can warp into those nodes and the enemy can just sit there and wait for you to pop in and kill you. So it is possible to do on the big maps.
It's more widespread in these smaller ones. However, it's still not really too bad of an issue yet. The maps themselves, I've always had a soft spot for destroying office buildings or hotels, and there's an office building and a hotel in this one. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels really good to jump in a pool and kill people, things like that. Feels good, looks good. On the data sheet for Battlefield 3 Close Quarters, one of the additions is HD explosions, which I couldn't help but laugh at. What the hell are they thinking?
Maybe they were doing explosions in 2 dimensions before.
But in this version, these are in HD.
Great.
So, just had to wonder about that. There are new weapons. There was supposed to be one new gadget, but people on Facebook told me I was wrong, and that gadget is free for everybody, just with the regular update. There's, like I said, Gunmaster mode. There's another couple game modes that have also been introduced, which are meant so that you don't get any stalemates in the middle of these close quarter battles where someone just can't capture a point. The actual capturing of the point's much quicker. So that's nice. So they're at least forward thinking in that respect. No vehicles whatsoever on these maps, and I don't know,
Fantastic.
man. If you like Battlefield 3 and you have a lot of fun with it, this is a little different because all of a sudden you will be using shotguns for once in your life. But it is fun, and I do like the game, and I enjoy the DLC, and for $15, I'd say, yeah, it's worth it.
Now, speaking about Battlefield 3, we played a little bit this last night.
A little bit.
Now, that's kind of the first time we really played since November, right?
I think that's safe to say, yes.
Yeah, we haven't had a group of people together in ages.
Is this game better or worse?
Than what?
Than before.
That's an interesting question.
I don't know. Better at it, so I'd say worse.
I didn't have as much fun as I recall.
Well, the problem is that what EA did was they closed down all their servers once they rolled out the rent-a-servers so that people would pay money to get their own server. And unfortunately, with those rented servers, people can choose their own little tweaks they want to make, like 500% tickets so that the game lasts 3.5 hours, no matter what. And that's where we ended up falling for the last leg of our journey, was on a server with a ridiculous amount of tickets, and by the time we felt like leaving, we felt like we had spent too long there and didn't want to give up just yet.
Yeah, I believe it was 1,000 for each team, and by the time we were like, okay, we're done, I think we had 350 or 400 left.
Yeah, we had just passed halfway, and we're like, we might as well stick it out.
Yeah.
Definitely regretting that decision.
Yeah, I don't like the way they're dealing with the servers now because they don't have any of those dedicated servers. It feels a lot like PC shooters, and that's always been a problem for me on many PC shooters. You have to find a good server on a huge list of them where people are around your skill level and the games are to your liking. It's not like default every single time.
Well, yeah. I think that with a little bit more time, but we had a fairly large group. We had up to 8 people at once, which was really nice turnout for a small, close-knit little game night. Keeping everybody coordinated is not always easy, so you kind of want to just get playing as soon as you can.
Yeah, it's hard to, although it's always been in Battlefield hard to get a squad together, get them all into the same game, get them all on the same team, and then get them all in the same squad. That is way harder in this game than it should be.
Yeah, you really got to organize things and make sure everyone's listening all the time.
So, yeah, in a real way, it was kind of nice to have, at first, it was nice to have those extra long maps because it took us a while to get on the same team.
Right.
But I have always, since they came out, liked Battlefield 3 more than Modern Warfare 3. I think I like these games more than Modern Warfare, even though I hate the vehicles. I think it ruins a lot of the fun that I have because I don't like driving or flying, and I don't like getting blown away by a tank that's really far away. I have no way of countering it. But I do like the fact that each class can contribute to the team without having a really high K to D, ratio.
It's not all about deaths to earn points and level up and be important.
Right, you can give people health and ammo and fix vehicles and spot guys and all of that. I enjoy because I'm not all that good at the killing. So and that's pretty much all Modern Warfare is. Although they did a little better with Modern Warfare 3, but
the glitches in that are still way out of control, though.
Yeah. But I think I agree with Doc. I think I liked Battlefield 3 more when it was EA's own servers because it rotated the maps. I mean, after about 15 minutes, you want to move to a different map. You want to try
normally
something
it
else.
will. You'd get normally on the regular, 20-minute matches, which is just fine.
Yeah.
But on this one, this was about 2 hours of pain.
Yeah, it was a long ass time.
Yeah.
And if it was a normal map, we would have won and moved on. Instead, it was even longer because the other team started to come back, and then it just took.
Oh yeah, we were killing them at one point, and then a third of our team left. It was 12-on-8 at one point for a while. That's the other thing this game doesn't do well is auto balance. Once it gets people on teams, that's where they are.
Yeah, even if if we all dropped out, all 8 of us dropped out, it would be 12-on-0, and they wouldn't balance it out. That's what it would be.
Right. The one team would just forfeit. It would be 12-on-0. So yeah.
Still, bottom line, I still have a lot of fun with the game, and I'm still going to keep playing it. But I definitely did get my big friendship multiplayer fix, and I think I'm good for a while, and I don't need any more dedicated nights.
Yeah, I had a lot more fun with Bad Company 2, I think.
Bad Company 2 was really amazing.
Yeah, that was really good. It's fun, but it doesn't have that same pull to me. I don't know what it is.
You're a weenie.
I think it's that you're a weenie.
Yeah, I am a weenie.
Speaking of weenies, let's talk about the game I have put the most time into this week.
Oh yeah, Weenie Party 4.
Weenie Party 4 for the Nintendo Wii.
Luckily, he's played Weenie Party 1 through 3, so he didn't be caught up on the story.
Right, I wasn't lost in the story.
And even if you were, they had the videos of Weenie Party.
I didn't put the keys in the bowl when I got to the Weenie Party, and I had to start the whole mission over. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is the game I finally put some time into this week. I'm about 15 hours in, I would say. And I think Doc's right that the real draw to this game is the combat. It's fun, and it seems like it's variable enough to keep me interested in leveling up and finding better weapons. Although before today, I played a little this afternoon, but before today, I had hit a wall where I was just like, I think I've seen everything that this game has to offer me. Even 12 hours in, and I wasn't all that drawn to the rest of it. The
lore isn't terrible, but just the way they describe it to you, the way they introduce it through the quests and whatnot, is kind of boring.
Yeah, and they have all that great. They have all these lore stones or whatever they're called around the environment that will kind of give you some background information, give you experience.
I'm surprised you don't like that because those are collectibles.
They are collectibles, but it plays audio when you touch them and get the experience. But a lot of times the levels are weird because if you get into a battle right after you do that, you can't hear what they're saying. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm having a lot of trouble with the audio, actually. A lot of issues with the audio cue being a full second after an event occurs, breaking a box and then not hearing it break until, the animation is done breaking the box. So, yeah.
The little things. The little things just aren't there.
Little things. I do really enjoy the combat though, and I'm trying to get into blacksmithing, but you kind of have to be. You have to put all this experience. You get like one of these experience things per level that you can put into various things like alchemy and blacksmithing, and but I have heard the detect hidden ability is the one you want to put stuff into first. So you can detect hidden treasures and hidden ores and stuff, and so I've been doing that, and that helps a lot because you get all this hidden stuff around the environment. But yeah, I want to do stealth, and I want to be a blacksmith and make money that way, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not playing it the way I want to because it kind of has to be played a certain way. If that makes any sense?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure, because I kind of just went willy-nilly with those points at the beginning. Oh, let me put some here, put some there, and ultimately I leveled up blacksmithing before I leveled up detect hitting, because I had fun with that, with blacksmithing. It's really great and very intuitive. You break up weapons for components. They tell you what
salvage.
You tell them what they tell you exactly what those bonuses are, like plus 5% critical hit, and you take those and you put them together for a new weapon with those qualities. I mean, it's very intuitive and very easy. So I really did enjoy blacksmithing. Detect hitting was nice, but I didn't really fully level that up all the way until maybe about halfway through the game. What type of character are you playing?
It's interesting because normally I play these kind of games as the thuggish, brutish, stupid,
sluggish bone.
The thuggish bone. Yes.
Yes, thuggish bone.
Bone thugs and Biggie.
It's the first of the month in this game.
Wake up.
As kind of a melee character, and I've been leveling up I've been kind of focusing on finesse and sorcery, and it's fun. I like the combination of those skills.
Yeah, I right away I liked the way that stealth played out in the game, so I did play as finesse. I played as a rogue that could throw chakrams because they're badass.
Yeah, I found a nice pair of those, and I've been throwing them and lighting things on fire ever since. So again, the hook to this game, the thing that is keeping me going is I'm enjoying the actual physical combat. But man, so there was a time when I just wandered off because that's how I like to play these games. I don't want to follow the main quest. I want to go over there because there's a big tree and I want to look at it, or whatever.
Looking at trees.
So it took maybe 10 hours before I felt like I was challenged in a fight, and that's kind of when I started really having fun, when the challenge has been raised, and that was a lot of wandering off on my own. It wasn't following the story because I then went back and did what I was supposed to do, and those battles were really easy because I had leveled up. I'm gonna keep playing. It's okay. I could see how somebody would sink a lot of time into this game because there's definitely fun to be had here, but the story hook isn't there enough to keep me obsessed, as it were.
Yeah, well, those collectibles, if you get all of them in a region, they give you a permanent stat bonus.
Oh, stuff.
Yes, I didn't really realize that until a little bit later on, because like in the status page, there's a tab that says lore stones. I looked at it, and they give you like plus 2% critical hit, plus 10% dodge, health bonuses, stuff like that, just permanent bonuses. So that's really fun.
Nom. I'm gonna eat all of them up.
Yeah, I figured you would now. I'm surprised you didn't before, because they're collectibles, and that's what you do.
Your collectibles. Well, they're sometimes not obvious in the environment.
You have a really big satchel that you just throw everything in, and you walk around like Santa Claus.
See, okay, so, alright, you brought it up. the inventory management is driving me insane. There's nothing that tells me what things weigh and what things don't. My inventory is 70 units, some arbitrary 70. Each one of the items doesn't have a, hey, this counts towards your thing, hey, this doesn't. Do
you want me to break it down for you?
It's
kind of like Dragon Age, in which every unit weighs 1, except for materials to build potions, like make potions, blacksmithing materials, stuff like that. Those don't weigh anything.
So all the consumable potions weigh 1.
Yeah, but I can have like a stack of 9, and that still weighs 1.
Okay. See, was that hard for them to say to me? Would that have taken?
It wasn't hard to figure out either. Oh snap!
Oh shit!
No, it did take a little bit for me to realize that. Well, all these materials aren't weighing anything, so I'm going to salvage as much as I can. That way, I'm not weighed down. Because
at one point, I hit the 70, and I was like, well, I guess I can't pick anything up. Frustrating.
Yeah.
I want my inventory Well, first of all, I don't want inventory management.
That's the one thing I don't like about most of these RPGs. Dragon Age had inventory management. Skyrim had inventory management. This one does. I hate that.
I don't want a weight limit. Or if you're going to do it, you can't do this. You can't say everything is 1. This potion 1. This heavy armor also 1. That doesn't make any sense.
I think I've said this before, but I want to go back like Guybrush Threepwood. He just takes everything, throws it in his pants, and goes on his merry way.
Big pants.
Yep. Parachute pants like MC Hammer.
Like MC Hammer. So, right. Again, 15 hours. I don't feel all that deep into this game, but that's probably because I wandered around like an asshole for a while. And yeah, it's interesting and fun enough combat that I will keep going. So that's Kingdoms of Amalur. Sad that 38 Studios kind of folded, because there's a great baseline game here for improvement, and their next game would have been, I think, really good.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because that will never happen. Sunflower's asleep, which is great.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I wanted both of your opinion on. So I played Mass Effect 3's DLC, the We're Sorry You Hated Our Ending DLC.
Yeah, I've downloaded it. I haven't played it yet.
Should we say that it includes spoilers and wait until kind of everyone has gone, or can I just go in?
Is there even anything to really say though? Like, well, I mean, I guess I don't want spoilers.
Yeah,
personally.
I kind of.
Okay.
I will.
But
play
I do have questions.
Okay.
I'll need you to answer.
All right, I can do so without giving spoilers. So, so people who want to play this, don't stop listening.
Yeah, keep listening. Don't worry. If he ruins it for us, I'll kill him. But
that sounds good.
Yeah, this will be used in a court of law. Games Only Podcast, episode 44.
Welcome to the hidden episode, Games Only Podcast, episode 44. That was never.
The first question is, okay, so is the ending any better?
Is the ending any better? Insofar as you don't really know what you're getting yourself into when you made the selections before, it is better because there's now an extra, without spoiler.
Vote it and say exactly which choice what is?
Well, so Shepard will say, like, what does that mean, when offered one of the choices, and it is explained a little further. And I think there's even, brief snippets of the actual ending that plays, so you can kind of see a little bit of, okay, this is what's going to happen.
Wow, they really weaned out.
Well, I know that it was a common complaint that you kind of didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
Well, it didn't really matter because all the endings were the same anyway.
I thought it was pretty clear.
I did too. I mean, it wasn't overly clear.
Also,
but
I don't necessarily think people need to be painted that bright of a picture, or that clear of a picture of exactly what they're doing. Because I don't know, I don't know. Rubs me the wrong way. I'll shut up now. Go on.
Okay. So that's one of the big changes. Another one is the kind of the epilogue video is longer for each choice. It includes kind of, there are some still photo kind of things showing where characters are after the choice you made happened. There's also some more...
So a little bit more closure then.
Yeah, because in a way, when I finished the first time and I chose the green ending, I only saw 3 of the characters, in that epilogue, and this time through, it showed a lot more of what they are doing, where they are. So there's just a little more information about the other tertiary characters that you might be interested in. So in that way, it's better.
Now, how far back did you have to go?
So at the beginning, when I loaded it up, I started with, you basically have to go to, where, how do I say this? I started the last mission over again, the whole last mission.
So you land on Earth?
Before that.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't want to do this again because I've already done this. So I loaded a save that was on Earth, and it let me play through just a little bit of the ending. And once you go through the ending all the way, there is a save game now for right before you have to make the final decision. So it auto saves, so you could go back and make a different choice if you wanted.
Okay, that's nice, because I know that the auto save is, the New Game Plus, if you beat the game originally, it would kick you back out before all that Earth stuff happened.
Right.
Which is where that save you originally loaded.
Yes.
So if you don't have one of those saves conveniently at the end of that scenario, it's 2 hours?
It's a piece. I've played for a while, because you have to go at least 2 different locations before the end of the game from the beginning of that mission. So it's a time investment to replay, and even though I like the game a lot, I really enjoy the game. I didn't want to do it again. I did not want to play through that again. So I would not begrudge people from looking up the endings on YouTube or something if they just don't want to go through the end again. But I'm pretty obsessive with saving, so I think I got it saved pretty close to the last point you can actually save the game. There was another change that was, I feel, pretty big, and I'm not sure how I can put it, but basically near the end of the game, there's something that happens where you're attacked, and I was under the impression that a couple of my party members died. That has been replaced with this rescue sequence where the Normandy flies in and extracts your party members. That is the part of it that I hated. I was fine with them dying, 'cause that's it's a suicide mission. And in a real odd way, it feels like they changed what I had decided was my ending. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
So right, if you're coming into this cold, if you haven't played through Mass Effect 3 at all yet, I think you're going to appreciate the changes that they made because you'll be happier about kind of how explicit they are with the choices. They really didn't change what happens when you make each of the choices. At least in my opinion, it doesn't feel like those have been changed in any fundamental way. They're basically still the same choices.
Just a little fleshed out for the ending, right?
Yeah. I believe there is a fourth choice now, which I don't think was.
Well, I thought the fourth ending was if you were 100% of the game. I think that's what they refer to why there's 4 new endings.
Okay. Well, there's definitely a different way of ending the game now, which I did kind of on accident the first time I played through the ending. So yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers with that, but you are presented with 3 options at the end, and there is a fourth way of ending the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was that spoiler free, Sonny?
Yeah, it was. But it also isn't, I don't know. I kind of don't feel like doing it, you know? I don't feel like playing it, you know?
I do know. I didn't either.
You had that problem as well. I don't feel like replaying the Kai Lang boss battle, God, and I don't really feel like struggling through Earth and all that other stuff.
I really like the other stuff. I don't really mind. I don't want to go through that long walk through the Citadel.
Well, also keep in mind, I was content with the ending in the first place, so that might be part of it.
This is true, because it let your brain just go up out and assume things that might be true, might not be true. Indoctrination.
Yeah. And as I was playing it in a very real sense, I realized I don't want to play any DLC for this. I feel like my story is done. My story was done before I did this, and I don't want to go back. So
yeah, DLC for Mass Effect 2 was a little different. Now this is like there's a definitive end to a story-driven game. You really don't want to do anything extra. You know, that's the end.
Yeah,
you know, that's
my assumption is the DLC will be pre-ending. But I don't know.
I mean, what are you going to do? Pick up rocks and move them over here?
Maybe.
Or post-ending?
Maybe it's Minecraft style. Yeah. So right, the news came out that there will be DLC for this game, and is what I think of that.
I'd like to say that about this. I'm going to say this about that.
So that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. Doc, Sonny, anything to add?
Nothing else. That's pretty much it for me.
No, I've had a pretty light week, and I apologize.
Oh, no worries. So there was the Amazon Gold Box sale this past Tuesday. I picked up Max Payne 3.
I did as well.
Good people!
And
just
Witcher
because
2.
Sonny strong-armed me, he said, "Motherfucker, pick it up." And I was like, "Okay."
Sonny is a bully, even about stuff he likes. He's a bully.
Don't call me motherfucker. I know
it's a bully for your best interest. I'm trying to make you less of a weakling.
So I will
swirly. Don't kick me in the testicles or anything you used to do in high school.
So I will try to finish that.
You all will thank me, I hope.
By next week. Maybe we'll get some more old people gaming in on Wednesday night next week.
We'll see. I don't want the those of you who may have seen the gag hashtag floating around Twitter. That stands for grown ass gamers. If you're a grown ass man or woman and like to play games with people that don't fuck around and act stupid, well, act stupid.
It depends on your definition of act stupid, because I think we all act a little stupid.
We don't act like children.
Yeah,
that's
there
all. It's we'll see what happens, but yeah, stay posted. I really personally want some Assassin's Creed, but nobody else does.
I do.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, yes. Sure. I mean, I haven't played 2 Brotherhood or Revelations, but I own them all, so I can play the multiplayer for them.
Well, yeah, and the multiplayer is completely separate. Yeah, so that's for next week. Is anything coming out next week? Do we know?
I know this week's Spec Ops came out.
That was this week, wasn't it?
I don't think any of us picked that up.
That's a game I'm not gonna bother.
I may be able to get my hands on a copy of Spec Ops: The Line.
The demo was pretty good, but it's third-person shooter, and it's like I'm a little burnt out of those.
This upcoming week, the only game coming out is Test Drive Ferrari Legends.
Sold.
Not to any of us. Week after that is NCAA 13. Hopefully I will be getting a review copy. If not, I will
cry about it.
Sell your body for it.
Yeah,
NCAA 12 is really good, so I'm excited for 13.
I am too. And in a weird way, I feel like I'm going to stop playing 12 once 13 comes out. So I kind of don't want to start playing 13 because I want to get I've already gotten my money's worth out of 12 though.
Oh yeah, and I spent $10 on 12, and I more than enough.
Boom.
So you want to win that BCS championship one more time before you start NCAA 13?
If it means an achievement, yes, he does.
Yes, that's exactly.
You've been hoeing. Don't deny that you've been hoeing.
You are a hoe.
I know I'm a hoe. How did you know?
Because he sold his body for NCAA 13.
Well, I think with that has been our show for this week. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, whether it's been on iTunes or Digital Noob or YouTube, wherever you listen. Please like us, leave comments, rub me inappropriately on the subway. I don't care what you do.
The views and opinions of HP 1703 do not expect the views and opinions of Games Only Podcast.
Viewer discretion is advised. Yes, and I want to thank both. So thank you for listening. And I want to thank both my co-hosts for co-hosting. I want to thank Dr. Gumaer.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I want to thank Sunflower Thorthousand. I don't know what just happened to my tongue. Yes, and we will talk at you next week. And
yeah, we will. Have a nice 4th of July.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
American Nightmare episode happening.
American Nightmare, episode 21.
Favorite condiment to put on your cheeseburger? Go.
Cheese.
Burger.
That's already assumed to be on the cheeseburger.
Thank you for listening.
We'll see ya.
Try not to go softly into that cold night.
This is... fireworks are not for your hands, kids. Put them on the ground.